24-year-old woman is accused of doing a lot more harm than good during her time as a home health assistant in the metro Atlanta area. She's accused of stealing financial information from people in her care so she could go shopping. She's accused of not only spending a little money, but a whole lot.
Fox 5's Tyler Fingert is live at the Gwinnett County Jail where that woman is being held tonight. Tyler?
Yeah, Russ, good evening to you. Police say a 24-year-old home health aide ripped off multiple clients, one of which had dementia. She's accused of buying a car, paying her rent, and even apparently trying to open up a brand new credit card with information she stole.
24-year-old Brianna Powell was hired to help and provide in-home care to elderly patients, but Suwannee police say she helped herself to their personal and financial information instead.
We found that through our investigation that she was defrauding the people that she worked for, using their credit cards, bank account information to purchase things.
And buy things she did. Arrest warrants show a pattern of purchases.
I was really shocked when we found out about the vehicle that was purchased.
According to one of Powell's warrants, that vehicle cost more than $16,000. Investigators also accuse her of paying her rent 3 times, going on a Lowe's shopping spree where she spent $1,700 and paying her personal ADT security bill. We added up the purchases listed in the arrest warrants. It came out to roughly $25,000.
I don't know how she thought she'd get away with it. Maybe she thought because they were elderly and they couldn't care for themselves, so they wouldn't notice the amounts or the money missing.
Suwannee Police Captain Robert Thompson said they were notified by a victim's power of attorney. When they started investigating, they found Powell, who worked at Visiting Angels, had used her job to victimize at least 2 others in Gwinnett County and another in DeKalb County. He said nobody knew they had been a victim. She faces nearly 24 charges, including identity theft, fraud, and elder exploitation.
Preying on the people that can't take care of themselves, the elderly, the young. We take that seriously, and we want to make sure she's held accountable.
Captain Thompson believes more victims are out there and says if she has ever worked in your home or with your elderly family member and you suspect any fraudulent activity occurred, call them.
Everybody has elderly people in their families, and you know, you can't always be there for everything. And when you have somebody come into the house to help take care of them, and then they just take advantage of them, it just hurts the public altogether.
And the owner of the company that Powell worked for sent Fox 5 a statement saying, quote, "We followed company policy and this employee passed a thorough background check with no issues. She has been terminated and we continue to cooperate with authorities in this case," end quote. If you think a loved one might be a victim in this case, we put the information on how to contact the Suwannee Police Department on our website, fox5atlanta.com. They tell me they've already received a number of calls today. As for Powell, she is being held here at the Gwinnett County Jail without bond. We're live in Gwinnett County tonight. Tyler Fingert, Fox 5 News.
Tyler, thanks.
Peachtree City police say they now know who broke into a high school and stole thousands of dollars worth of band equipment. We showed you the surveillance video of the crime yesterday.
Fox 5's Doug Evans was there as police prepared to return the instruments after the suspect's mother turned her son in for the crime.
It started as a tongue-in-cheek report on the Peachtree City Police Facebook page in the style of the old TV show Dragnet. It worked, had people talking and commenting. Soon, a mother here realized that police were posting an image of her son, whom she then confronted about the theft of thousands of dollars of band instruments. And so she brought him here to the police station.
Well, the suspect's mother saw the post that we had placed on Facebook and confronted her son, who then admitted to her that, yes, he did steal the musical instruments, and then they came straight to the police department with the musical instruments to make the wrong right and to give them back to the victims.
Police say the surveillance video shows the 19-year-old roaming the halls of McIntosh High School after breaking in. They say he's heading for the band and orchestra rooms. Video outside shows him loading up the stolen instruments on a golf cart. Keep in mind, this is Peachtree City. They would learn their suspect was a former student who had graduated last year. Among the items taken, a teacher's personal violin.
There's 9 different pieces of equipment and some of their accessories that were found to be missing, totaling over $36,000 in value.
We were here with the police as they were loading up some of the equipment to take back to the high school. From their Facebook post, police say the mom recognized the son's clothing. They appreciate her courage in coming forward.
Greatly appreciate the steps that his mom took to really hold her son accountable and to make it right for all the other people that were truly victims. In the middle of concert season, they both acknowledged that they've probably hurt some people, and they were both very forthcoming about it and apologetic.
Here's the crazy thing. Police say among the items taken was a tuba. But they say after the young man got it home, he decided to bring it back to the high school band room. For breaking in the high school the first time, then returning a second time to put the tuba back, police say he's looking at 2 counts of burglary as well as theft by taking. They've not yet filed the charges, so they're unable to release his identity at this time. I'm Doug Evans, Fox 5 News in Peachtree City.
A Powder Springs woman who was supposed to be delivering packages is now in the Cobb County Jail, accused of stealing them instead.
Police say they found dozens of packages in her car. Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live in Kennesaw. Denise, police say none of those packages were addressed to her.
No, they weren't. She told police she was a delivery driver, so it would be normal that she would have packages in her car. But here's the thing. Some of those packages that were stacked up in the back had been opened.
None of the packages should have been opened at all.
Police say LaShawn Crumble was driving through Kennesaw around midnight late last month when an officer pulled her over because her brake lights were out. When talking to the driver, officers say they smelled marijuana, which led to a search of the car.
A small amount of drugs was found, but a large number of opened and unopened packages were found inside the vehicle.
Investigators say those packages were addressed to people across Metro Atlanta. Detectives confirmed she was a subcontractor for a delivery company, but her job was to drop off packages, not to open them. When officers asked why the boxes had been tampered with, they got a surprising answer.
She said that they give her the ability to go dumpster diving for packages that are returned and thrown away.
Police say the company told them that's just not true.
According to the company, there's zero reason why she should have had any open packages.
Detectives contacted some of the people whose names were on the packages. They wanted to press charges, and now LaShawn Crumble is in the Cobb County Jail charged with possession of stolen mail. Police say while this is just one case, if you order anything online, keep an eye on where your package is.
Make sure that you get a tracking number with that order and stay up to date of where it's at and when you should be expecting it. And as soon as it's past that date, immediately contact the company and file a report that it's either lost, missing, or stolen.
And detectives are still trying to contact others whose packages were found in the car, so LaShawn Crumble could be facing additional charges down the road. Reporting live in Kennesaw, Denise Dillon, Fox 5 News.
Denise, thanks. We have your first look at the suspect who investigators say robbed several fast food restaurants in Metro Atlanta over the last 2 days, then caused a deadly crash in Buckhead as police chased them.
Fox 5's Tyler Fingert is live where that crash happened at the intersection of Peachtree and Piedmont with new details we're learning tonight. Tyler?
Yeah, Russ, good evening to you. This is such a tragic story. You can actually see where one of those vehicles came to a rest last night and some of the debris that is still here. The Georgia State Patrol says the suspect, who was wanted for multiple robberies, crashed into and killed an innocent driver while being chased by police. This is the aftermath of a police pursuit in Buckhead Monday night. 2 vehicles turned into mangled messes after a suspect wanted in a string of robberies at local fast food restaurants was chased by Atlanta police after spotting his car. That pursuit ended around 9:30 when the Georgia State Patrol says he ran a red light and struck a vehicle.
I heard a pretty violent noise. I was wondering what it was, and then saw the police cars leaving the station.
An innocent driver was killed and has been identified by the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office as 26-year-old Richard Wells Jr. from Highland Mills, New York. DeKalb County police say the wreck at the intersection of Peachtree and Piedmont roads happened less than an hour after the suspect robbed the Chick-fil-A on Decatur Village Way off of Scott Boulevard. Police say he pepper sprayed employees, then stole the cash drawer. Sandy Springs police say the suspect did the exact same thing Sunday night at a McDonald's on Roswell Road road after ordering fries and water.
The cashier came up to take the money, the transaction. The suspect pepper sprayed the victim, the cashier, and grabbed the cash drawer and fled the scene.
Sandy Springs police identified the suspect as Centario Barnwell. The agency is one of at least 4 involved in the case. After the robbery in Sandy Springs, investigators issued a bolo for him. They say they had him on video in a stolen gray Volkswagen Jetta. Investigators say the suspect's car had been used in at least 3 robberies since Sunday, 2 in DeKalb and 1 in Sandy Springs.
We don't often see that where pepper spray is used and reaching in through the window and grabbing the cash drawer. Unusual, but it's happened several times in the metro Atlanta area.
And medics rushed Barnwell to the hospital. We're told he is in custody, but at this point it's unclear if he has actually been booked into jail. We are live in Buckhead tonight. Tyler Fingert, Fox 5 News.
Gainesville police arrested a man accused of stealing over $20,000 worth of merchandise from several Walmart stores across North Georgia.
40-year-old Speedy Gonzalez is now facing several felony shoplifting charges in several counties. Yes, that is his real name. News Edge reporter Eric Mock explains how he pulled off so many thefts before getting caught.
Well, at Walmarts like this one on Shallowford Road, police say Speedy Gonzalez would pick up a larger item like a trash can, then he stuffs it full of smaller, expensive items. Then at checkout, he just covers it and just pays for the trash can. With a name like Speedy Gonzalez, you're sure to be remembered if you have a past with police.
He does have a criminal history here in Gainesville. Again, he's someone that we've dealt with numerous times.
First Lieutenant Kevin Holbrook says officers remembered this suspect when staff at this Walmart on Shallowford Road in Gainesville called them about him in March. He was seen on surveillance video making off with multiple items. With a little scheme, Holbrook explains, likely prevented him from getting caught sooner.
Nicotine gum, diabetic strips, high-priced items, although smaller in nature. He would then pick out an item from the shelf, such as a trash can. In one instance, it was a mailbox. Then take all those items, stick it into the box with the larger item, and then take that, pay for it, and walk out of the store.
Gonzalez returned to this Walmart 10 days later, where Gainesville officers arrested him. Holbrook says they found other stolen items in his car. Investigators say they realized he'd been doing the same thing at other Walmarts.
Barrow County, Gwinnett, other Hall County, Habersham, White, Lumpkin. It was determined that Speedy Gonzalez was responsible for over 20 thefts around the North Georgia area. Multiple Walmart stores ranging upwards of $20,000 in theft.
Not only was he arrested previously in Gainesville for theft, in 2020, Gwinnett County Police arrested him for stealing checks out of a Swanee mailbox and using them to try and buy $3,000 worth of merchandise at a Home Depot store. After spending some time in the Hall County Jail, Gonzalez is now in the Barrow County Jail for the same types of charges. And Holbrook says they're working with law enforcement agencies across North Georgia to bring even more charges against him. For now, reporting in Hall County, Eric Mock, Fox 5 News.
A Smyrna man has been arrested on multiple counts of burglary, including breaking into an elementary school.
Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live in Cobb County tonight. Denise, police say this isn't the first time he has committed crimes.
That's right. Now, we have learned just recently 3 homes in this neighborhood and a school down the road were broken into. Police say the man behind these crimes was out on bond after committing burglaries in Smyrna.
I'm glad he's gone. Yeah, I feel better.
Denise Evans is relieved that the man who smashed her back window to get inside, then ransacked her home in mid-April, is now in jail.
I came home, walked in. First thing I saw was my closet door was open. Then I went up to my bedroom and saw the mattress was askew and there was stuff thrown around. So I said, oh my, I really have been broken into. You know, it was pretty startling.
Evans says 2 of her neighbors' homes were also broken into.
It seems he was only looking for cash from each of the homes in this neighborhood because he didn't take anything, you know, electronics or anything.
Cobb County police say earlier in the day, the same man broke into Chalker Elementary
It's a little nerve-wracking, especially being so close to home.
Investigators say someone threw a brick through a window of the school. Video inside the school showed the prowler walking through the hallways to the front office. Police say it was this man, Jordan Brooks. Investigators say they were able to identify him and connect him to the home burglaries because of a distinct heart-shaped tattoo near his right eye.
And that lets you know tattoos are indeed indicative of the person and a great indicator.
Police say Brooks has been involved with burglaries in the past. He was out on bond for burglarizing 3 homes in Smyrna.
And he decided to expand his territory, I guess.
And Brooks is back in the Cobb County Jail now, this time being held without bond. Reporting live in Cobb County, Denise Stillen, Fox 5 News.
All right, Denise, thanks. A burglary suspect tries to outrun Noonan police in a stolen side-by-side, but learned his driving skills and vehicle were no match for pursuing patrol cars.
Fox 5's Doug Evans has the story.
It happened at Cycle City in Noonan last Saturday morning. Owner Greg McDonald got a security alert about someone on his back lot. This is the footage of the burglar.
So I pulled my camera up thinking I'm going to see a cat walking around in the back. And I see this guy next to the fence and next to Yamaha YXZ.
Gary says he called 911, and when police arrived, the suspect was still there, making a lot of noise in his attempt to escape the lot with a Yamaha side-by-side. He did make it out of the fence, but by then, Noonan police had the business surrounded, and a chase started between the suspect in the side-by-side and officers in patrol cars.
And then he actually took off on the side-by-side, driving all the way up Jefferson Parkway toward actual Bullsboro Drive, and then hit a curve into the parking lot of the BP gas station on Bullsboro Drive.
Does that cause him to kind of wreck out? Or?
It did. It actually damaged the side-by-side. He then was able to jump out and take off running.
Here's how a foot pursuit ended with officers tasing the suspect. He's identified as 34-year-old Justin Davis of Temple. He's charged with 2 counts of damage to property, theft by taking in second-degree burglary. Cycle City has really good security. Once motion was detected, the owner was notified and an audible alarm sounded. The owner said Davis had a chance to flee before police arrived, but wasted time trying to cut through a thick chain, which he couldn't, and then was so determined to steal the used side-by-side and escape the lot that police had time to arrive and surround the place. In Noonan, Doug Evans, Fox 5 News.